Well, folks, got everything sanitized once outside, brought it on in here, and I sanitized it a second time. And look at everything that was left for me. And this was provided by a viewer. And Dave over at Superfoods, he come by today and talked to me about it. And we're going to be talking a little bit more about this in this video, because this is truly a blessing. And I've actually received so many, and I need to do a video about blessings and thankfulness. So let's get to it. Well, hello there, friend and family. Here we are again. I think it's what, day 45? April the 30th? Isn't it? Yeah. I think so. I got Magoo trying to come up my leg. Come here, Magoo. See? Right there he is. Come on. Come up and sit, Papa. Oh. Come on. Let me get him, because he's killing me. He's got to be with me. Go ahead and sit down, Magoo. Okay? Let's talk to the folks. You got to be part of the talk. Okay, little buddy. So now we got our little buddy up here with us, and he'll be sharing some time with us, I'm sure. See, he's right there. So like I said yesterday, I wanted to make a little bit different video today than walking around, showing things, doing something, teaching, giving advice. I want to talk about something that I think is very important in all of our lives. And like I related to yesterday, towards the end of the video, what I wanted to talk about today was blessings. And I also want to talk about gifts. Both of those things are very important, but they're also something I've struggled with in life. You may be thinking, why would I struggle with blessings and gifts? And that's what I'm going to explain to you. Some of you may say it's a character flaw. Some may be a quirk, or some type of fault, and that, but I wanted to discuss it, because like all people, I'm far from perfect. I try every year to be a better man than I was the year before, and I do believe I am a better man than I was last year, and the year before, and the year before. And I strive to continue to be better this year too. So y'all, what is this about blessings? They are a great thing, especially when we bless others. And I've always enjoyed blessing others. I've always truly enjoyed giving gifts. It's always a special time. I always tried to make it very special for the children, the wife, friends, and family. Make it a big deal. Always tried to get them something they truly wanted or truly needed. And hopefully they'd enjoy it. But for me, I've always had this peculiar problem. For me, it's about receiving blessings and gifts. And I'm not sure when that all started. And I can't blame my mother, my father, my grandparents, or any family. I can't. They didn't do it to me. In fact, all of them were just like I was, or am. And they made gift giving and blessings of others very special events as well. And I've thought a lot about it over the years because I've really struggled with this. In fact, so much so that I have avoided people in my life to keep from having to accept a gift, like for birthdays, such events as holidays, anniversaries. I don't bring them up. And it's been this way a really, really long time. And the more I thought about it, the more I think it's not what anybody did to me, but what I saw. And most of you know, if you watched my older videos, like why I do it here on YouTube, that's a good one. I used to work with my father. Started working with my daddy when I was 6 years old, and it just wasn't in the garden. My daddy, he was in the Army, didn't make much money, trying to support then a family. Started out with just me. Then a few years later, there was my sister. A year or two later, there was my brother. And then many years later, there'd be my baby sister. But during that time, Daddy was in the Army. He didn't make a whole lot of money. He was an enlisted man. And we really struggled financially. So Daddy always took second jobs. And not only did he always have a second job, but on the weekends and holidays, rather than resting, he'd be out trying to scrounge up spare work. You know, odd jobs, handyman, stuff like that. And me and Daddy, we'd go do that. But with all that said, when somebody needed something, whether it was something fixed, because Daddy could fix anything. That man could. I never saw nothing that he couldn't fix. He was a very good mechanic, fixed small appliances, carpentry, built everything we ever had. Brick mason. He did a lot of brick mason work and that. Roofing. It didn't matter. If it paid money, we'd do it. And it was always 100% satisfaction guaranteed. And Daddy always made sure his price was the cheapest to be had because, in all truth, we needed the money. And when I was little, it didn't bother me so bad, but when I got to be up to be a teenager, I would look and see how little we charged. And I'd have a problem with that a lot of times with my daddy. And he'd try to explain, we just need the money so bad, son, you know, if we can make $20, $30 a day, that's better than zero. Wouldn't discuss it much after that. And then one thing my daddy would always do, if somebody came to him in need, or he saw somebody that was in need, and that, he'd work for free. He was the kind of man that would literally, and I know people said this before about people, but he'd give his own shirt off his back if he had to. Or take his last old crumpled dollar out of his old wore out billfold and hand it to him. And there were times I had problems when I was younger with Daddy doing things like that. But all that being said, even that I don't think gave me this here problem I have with receiving blessings and gifts. What I did think gave it to me was how sometimes people use my daddy. And of course, since I worked with Daddy, they were using me too. And I wasn't ashamed to confront people. And what I mean by that, Daddy'd do some work for little or nothing. Of course, I'd be helping them. And we'd go to homes that were much times and many more nicer than ours. Cars sitting in the drive, many more times, newer and better. You know, they had all the things in life we didn't have. Fine possessions, fine home, vehicles, lived in neighborhoods we could never afford. And Daddy, they'd call Daddy back, and he'd still work for little or nothing. But then there were others in that same category that would try to get Daddy to work for free. And of course, they'd have sob stories. And Daddy, he'd do it. And boy, that really got to me. And there were times we worked all weekend. We'd work at night. Sometimes, depending if it's holiday, 3 or 4 days on a job. And then, instead of money, they'd give Daddy something. I remember one such a person that did Daddy that way. Rather than pay him, and this guy's name was Les and his wife was Trudy. This was up north Alabama, north of Huntsville. They had a fine place, fine home, land we could never afford, or the stuff that sat on it. But Daddy did all kinds of work up there, and of course I helped Daddy. And instead of paying him, they'd give him some little thing. Les's wife Trudy made ceramics, and they'd let Daddy go into her ceramic shop and pick out one thing. Of course, Trudy was real quick to point out which things he could pick from. And he'd bring it home. I'd be so pissed. Then of course Mom wouldn't be too happy either. Because we needed money, we didn't need no knick-knack. But they'd make a big deal out of giving this to Daddy. Like they were giving him some kind of gift. And I've seen other people that had way more do the same thing. They'd give Daddy a gift. Wasn't worth a whole lot. And that. He'd always gratefully accept it, nod his head, say thank you, shake their hands, and we'd load it back up, head back home. And the more I thought about my whole problem in receiving blessings and gifts, stems a lot, I think, from those times. Another thing I think that really has affected me, or did, in my early teens, and that caused my aversion to gift giving, or gift receiving, is once I got a little bit older, there were times my parents would be talking at the kitchen table. It'd be time for one of our birthdays, or it'd be Christmas, wouldn't be too long away. And they'd be discussing how they were going to come up with the money to get us kids a gift or Christmas presents. And I know there were times when my parents sold things of their own, especially my daddy, so we could have a birthday present or Christmas presents. I remember one year, and I think this one hurt me the most, was money was tight that year, and it's Christmas was a week away. And they hadn't had the money to buy any Christmas gifts. We had a tree we cut down in the woods and decorated. Didn't have no money to buy a turkey or any of that. Something we always had. Things have been bad that year. Medical bills for my sister have been really high. So, Mom and Dad sat down at the kitchen table and they thought we kids were asleep now. We lived in a mobile home, true enough. It was a nice mobile home. It wasn't run down. And we weren't in a run down trailer park, by the way. It was a very nice trailer park. And I could overhear what they were discussing. My daddy was going to take down his hunting rifles. And he didn't buy them. They were given to him by his dad. 3 of them. All of them meant a lot to Daddy, and he always kept them in fine shape. But that's all he could have taken down. Tried to raise some money, get us kids Christmas. I think I must have been around 14 at the time. But listening to him, I wanted to go out there and say, don't do that, Daddy, it'll be okay. But I knew if I broke out of that bedroom and walked into that kitchen, I'd have 2 very extremely mad parents. So I just listened. And what Daddy's plan was, he'd take his rifles down, he'd pawn them, get enough money, buy us some Christmas presents and a turkey for Christmas dinner. That wouldn't be the only year that my dad would take something to the pawn shop. A lot of times it was his tools, other possessions he had. Pawn his car and ride back and forth to the base with another man in his company. Things of that nature. And I think that had a big effect on me in being able to accept gifts. And if you haven't got it by now, what's the whole point to this? Well, the whole point is my aversion to receiving. Now, I love giving. I'm like Daddy. If you needed my shoes, I'd give it to you. If you need my jacket, I'd give it to you. I'd make do. Always made do all my life. But it's just the receiving part. And it's even like with my kids. I won't mention my birthdays. I won't bring up Father's Day. You know why? Because I don't want them spending their money. They've had hard lives. Trust me, they have. I'm not going to go into all the rhymes and reasons. Some of that's in past videos, and that's enough said. But you're like friends. I don't want them to spend their hard-earned money on me. And then when they do, I'm appreciative of it. I really am. So, that's my story, my backstory, and something I'm still working on today. And that's sort of why I put off doing a video like I'm about to do today. Because I didn't start a YouTube channel to get anything out of it. I started with kids and grandkids, friends and family, as a way of leaving something behind. In a way of old Mr. Tom still being here, hopefully long after old Mr. Tom's not here. Maybe my grandson can look back years from now. I mean, I've got all the videos saved. And he can see me. Talk with me. I wish I could do that with my daddy, my granddaddy, and my great-granddaddy now. Some nights I think I can. I hope they're the ones talking. And it's not demons in my head. Of course, figuring what they're telling me, it's got to be them. So there was no ulterior motive on my part to start a YouTube channel. This isn't my living. It's not even monetized. A lot of people have told me I should do that. Get a PayPal account where people can donate. Have a P.O. box where people could send stuff to me. P.O. box just ain't happening right now because there just isn't one available last time I checked. And that may have changed since last time I checked. But some of you out there have come across my address. And I don't mind that. Some will warn you that can be dangerous. Well, yeah, it could. I mean, some people do bad things. Some people are just outright nuts. Now, I've had people drive by here, wave, and we chit-chat at the vehicle. Albeit it's a whole longer distance now than what it used to be. And I don't mind that. But nobody pulls up and just expects to get out and interrupt my life. See, in the South, we're a little more respectful than that. We all know better. You just don't drop in unannounced. That's not proper. And I hope everybody out there who has come across my address can understand just how things are done in the South. And that's how I expect things to be done. I don't mind drive-bys, but unscheduled drop-in, that would bother me. Especially, you never really truly know a person until you know a person. But like I said, some people have been able to figure out where I live and my address and all that. And because of that, they sent me some things which I feel are blessings. They're gifts. And I'm thankful for every which one of them. And as many of you know, I put everything into quarantine and pretty much used the car for that. And, as you might wonder, I also forget they're in there from time to time. So some of what we're going to go through, I've had a while. Others just got out of quarantine, and if you sent something that I don't cover today, it's in quarantine. If it's arrived, and that's something that's been really strange here since this coronavirus all started, I'm not sure how it is in your area, mail is all screwed up. I've got things that were sent to me like on the 11th of April. That's when the postmark was. And they just got here yesterday. Before the whole virus thing, I would receive stuff at most 4 or 5 days. A lot of times it's just 2 to 3, or as that might be to believe. But that's the way it is. And then I throw them in the trunk or place them in the car on quarantine if they'll fit. If not, they go in the carport. And there they sit for at least 7 days. Now, like I say, sometimes I forget, especially in the car. Out of sight, out of mind, they say. And then I go over and walk by and go, uh-oh, I better check that. You know, especially bills. Yep, I'm a little late on getting that insurance in there. This last time I had to call. I blamed it on the virus. But anyway, that would have been bad. Of course, it ain't like my car went anywhere, but it's on my truck that my son's got currently. They said they hadn't dropped coverage on it, so I was good there. But I've rambled on enough about my own failings and that, and I want to show you what people were so generous, so sweet and thoughtful to send old Mr. Tom. And I do appreciate everything that all of y'all do send. So let me get to it and show you some of these beautiful things. So y'all, what you're looking at here, got this here 2 beautiful kitties, and they're having them a birthday cocktail. Now this card was sent to me by Nell. You've heard me talk about Nell and her son Chris. Nell and I have been friends since 4th grade. She sent this down with some nice well wishes and thoughts inside. I'm not going to read it to you, of course, but that's just wonderful. And of course she said for Trixie not to drink too many cocktails. And of course Magoo's trying to steal the show. And I gotta be careful here not to show people's addresses and that. But I got a nice letter from Judy here in Tallahassee, Alabama, sharing information on her faith and beliefs, her church and place of worship, and I really do appreciate that, and I'll be looking into it as well. It's actually just about half a mile down the road. Magoo, no. In a minute, Magoo. Magoo, I love you too, buddy, but I'm trying to do a video here. You just being a little bug, ain't you? You'd let me sit there and scratch your head and pet you for hours. You're almost as spoiled as Trix, maybe more. Okay? Come on. Might as well get on up here. Well, as you can see, I got a lap full of cat. And this is turning out to not work as well as I thought. Then I got this real nice card here. It's got a nice little boat on it. Beautiful ocean there with some mushrooms, a tree, and the clouds and the bright sun. That's from Atlanta, up in Kentucky. And she sent me another one. This was the first one she sent. Shells, and of course, she's got always kind thoughts and comments and well wishes here on these cards as well. One was sent on the 14th, one was sent on the 20th. And that, they just got out of quarantine. Both of these, I'm gonna have to get me some magnets and stick them on the fridge with my other cards. Now this card came from Steve. I believe it's from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, if I remember correctly. Which up in PA, up around the Bradford and Erie and Mountain Julep and all that area is where my daddy's family all comes from, and which ones of them are still living are still up there. So it's always good to get something from the old home state there, Pennsylvania. Really do appreciate that. And that. And it was wishing me a good happy birthday too. Appreciate that, Steve. Well, Magoo decided to get down finally. So maybe we can continue on. I'll have to come up with a better format for doing this. Y'all tell me if you enjoy it or not. And I got this beautiful card. This is from Brian. And if I remember correctly, he's from Wellington, Delaware. Beautiful card here. Birthday card. Just simply love it. You can see the birds. Of course, you can hear the birds too. They'll probably love the card just as well. Now this beautiful card here with the cardinals, I think that's a bluebird. I'm really not up on all the bird species, and that young lady here that sent this probably knows them far better than I do. I can recognize the cardinal. Pretty much unsure about the other three right off the bat. Beautiful card. But inside it was also, she included a gift card from Amazon. That is so special. And that'll probably go to taking care of the birds. So I really do want to thank Heidi. This is from Heidi. And this is from Heidi. And she's up in Minnesota. I hope she don't mind me at least saying what state. So if I get in trouble on any of this, y'all just let me know. But, you know, I like to give credit where credit's due. You gotta look at this. He was chewing on the camera. Magoo, I can't do nothing. You're just a papa hog or a camera hog. I'm not sure which. God. Oh my. Can I finish this? Oh. My Lord. Oh, you gotta lick me too? Can't you just lay down? Huh? Can't you just lay down? Take it easy. We had to change venues. So we're over here for the last two that I want to show my appreciation today. And this right here is a Windshield GoPro mount that a viewer sent me from Kentucky. And he really does enjoy the driving videos. But he often sees, you know, I knocked the camera and of course all of y'all off into the floor. So he wanted to send this to me so I could mount y'all up on the windshield where you'll be able to see more and be safer. I am ever so appreciative of that, and I actually probably will be doing a drive video here possibly next week out in the country. I gotta drive the car, burn some of the gas out, plus I gotta charge the battery up. I've been starting it up, letting it run a little bit. But that's not good on a car to let it sit out there idling for 30 minutes to an hour. Hard on the catalytic converters. So this is going to come in real handy. I really do appreciate it. Magoo's just not going to give up. He's got to check out every last thing. I moved over here and gave him the chair. Now he's over here. Well, anyway, this nice package here. I used to send stuff like this to friends and kids and other members of the family, and we'd call them care packages. Care packages full of love. And this is from Naomi. Sent me a beautiful card with some nice thoughts in it. Said, you know, she's got something for the birds, the kitties, and for me in here. Of course, birds, she's got this nice soot cake that I will be putting out. And I'm sure for Trixie, or Magoo, and of course Elrod and Cleo, here's some Frisky's party mix. They'll enjoy it. Yep, I know you want some, Magoo. Here. There you go. Now that's from Naomi, okay? And that sent me some dry yeast right there. Now, you can definitely, I can use that. Because we're going to be baking up some bread. Ain't no doubt about it. I still got to try Alaska Prepper's bread recipe too. She also sent me this really nice plaque. Believe in yourself. It's simply beautiful. Of course, that'll go on the fridge in a prominent place. And We got some milk chocolate filled with caramel brownie cream. Woo! 18 pieces in there. I'm going to tell you something. I've got some chocolate left. And you know what I do? Maybe once, twice a week, I go in there and I get me a piece or two. And you just sit down. You slowly unwrap it. You break some off. And you savor it. You just don't chew it, gobble it up and swallow it. You let it melt in your mouth. Letting that chocolate melt in your mouth is so enjoyable. And you make it a memorable event. That's how we did as children. You get a Hershey bar maybe once or twice a year. You know how you could break off little rectangles? We could make that Hershey bar go for a couple of weeks. And that's what I'm going to be doing with this. I'll break me one off and I'll enjoy it. Or they may come individual. That will be a treat. So this wonderful nice care package will go to good use. The birds will get this nice suit cake or sweet cake. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. I think it's suit. This will have to go on the fridge. And of course here, as soon as I get this camera put up, I believe Magoo's going to have some of this here party mix. Right, Magoo? Going to have some of this? Oh, now you're lounging and washing up on the mower seat, sunning yourself. I hear you. Couldn't do that while I was trying to get through the video, huh? Oh, don't want to see that. So if you watched the last video, you'll know when I came walking around from the back side of the house after I finished up work shooting that video, there was a blessing here on the front porch. Somebody had blessed old Mr. Thompson groceries. Well, there's a story behind that. I just want to go over that right now because it's a special one. And what happened there, just a couple hours earlier, a young man in a pickup truck came by, slowed down and pulled down the street in front of the house, and yelled out to me as I was coming around the side of the house at that time too, and said, "Hey, you Mr. Tom?" I said, "Sure am." Walked up within about 15 feet of the truck and asked him what I could do for him. Well, he said, one of your subscribers called the store, Superfoods. I'm from Superfoods. I said, okay. And they said, well, they'd like to buy you some food. And I said, well, yeah, that's nice. But he said, you know, I had to explain to the lady that we didn't have Instacart or online ordering or delivery or anything. And I just couldn't take no money from her. And I continued to listen. And he said that he told her that he'd come by and check on me and see what I needed. And he said, gave me his name. His name was Dave. And he told me he drives back and forth a couple times a day between the main location over on the west side of the river and the location over here on my side of the river on the east side. And he'd be willing to drop off anything I needed. And then he got out a notepad and pencil and asked me if, you know, was there anything I needed? He'd bring it by later. But since this all sort of took me by surprise, and I definitely didn't want to take advantage of the situation. Because when I asked Dave, well, how's this going to work? He said, well, since I couldn't take no money from her, I just want to donate it to you. Well, I immediately told him, you know, God bless him, and thank you very much. So, back to the point of not wanting to take advantage of him, or don't want to take advantage of any of y'all either. I gave him a short list of things I really could use. I didn't get that whole list that I went over on a video back on the 26th that I did about needs and wants and taking my own advice and listening to my own teachings. I asked him, 5-pound bag of potatoes would be nice, and a couple of pounds of carrots, some lettuce, a loaf of bread, and a head of fresh cabbage. Or, excuse me, a head of fresh lettuce. And that's all I asked for. Well, he wrote it all down. He said, well, I'll be back by later, and I'll drop it off, leave it on the front porch. You'll be here, right? And I said, oh yeah, I've been here. And he drove on off. Well, I went in, got a cold drink, and came back out and continued working in the back. Now, I had every intent on listening for him and catching him and paying him for those groceries. It was nice enough for him to, want to donate them to me, but I have a little money here and not destitute yet. But he's real quiet about it, or I was too involved in what I was doing to notice. But when I did finish up, just like you saw in that last video, I came around, there they were. I'm going to have to figure out a way to thank Dave for that. Probably going to have to give him a call. Tell him how much I appreciate that. See if he'll let me reimburse him for it. Or maybe not. Maybe it's just better to accept the blessing and the gift. I am trying to learn to do that. But I want all of y'all to know it's not necessary, but I do appreciate everything. A card, a letter, little gift for the kitties and birds. Oh, Mr. Tom will be fine. We'll get by. And I got Cleo here at my feet. Wouldn't you know it? Let me show it to you. Cleo! So glad you could make it today. Where were you earlier? Well, you almost missed being on the video, didn't you? Say that wasn't going to happen, was it, baby? You're looking better. Yep, I love you too. Yep, get you something to eat. And talking about the kitty crew, guess who showed up a minute or two ago? Yep, Magoo, chilling behind me. Of course, Trix's right inside the door, and trust me, she ain't happy. That was just like here prior to Christmas. I received a huge blessing, and I know many of y'all know this young man and his family. They live up in Alaska. And he sent down things for Davy's birthday, a little gift for me, and sent down stuff for Christmas too, for Davy and me as well. And I was ever so appreciative. Things that I really needed, and things I wouldn't have went out and spent the money at that time for me to have. And I was ever so thankful. And I speak to Rudy via phone on occasion. And if any of y'all out there want to watch another fine channel of preparedness and real life, you check out Rudy up there on the Alaska Prepper channel. He's a real fine young man, got a fine family. And every once in a while, crazy old Victor comes out. You'll really enjoy Victor. I ain't seen him on video in a while. Maybe he'll pop his head in from time to time. Once you see him and hear him, you'll know what I mean. He's a special character. So y'all, I am appreciative of the blessings and the gifts those of you have sent. But I want to tell you how much I appreciate some of the other blessings y'all give me. And that's down in the comments. All your kind comments, wishes and thoughts. They really, really get to me at times. That's a true blessing. Another true blessing is to see y'all striking up conversations between yourselves, sharing your lives with each other, your ideas, and your thoughts. And like I always tell you, I read every comment. You get a heart from Mr. Tom, he's read it. Now I can't possibly reply to every last comment. I do while I'm reading them. Try my best to not miss any questions, and then I take the time to answer them best I can and be as helpful as I can. Sometimes I just don't know the answer, but I'm more than honest to let y'all know. Now, something I've been a little lax in, and that's getting caught up on my emails. I had a problem here a few weeks back where my email account got hacked, and it took me a while to get that straightened out and get it back. But it wasn't just my email account, it was my whole AOL account. And I don't know how that happened. I just always click on it and it comes right up. Well, one particular day a few weeks back it didn't. It came up to the password screen, and I have to write my passwords down because I'm getting old and I forget them. Especially now, you gotta have one for everything, and then you gotta change it every so often, so you can't keep the same one like it used to be in the old days. So I typed in the one that I'd written down, and nope, that was wrong. So it took a bit to get that thing straightened out. I mean, my God, they make you go through some hurdles nowadays when that happens. So I've got it back, and I am going to take some time and sit down and go through however many hundreds I have now. I'm sure there'll be hundreds, and reply back to y'all. I think that's the least I can do if you took the time to write and share with me. Just give me time and we'll get to it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you understand the intent, and I hope you understand the difficulties I sometimes have in receiving blessings and gifts. And maybe some of y'all have some of those same issues with how you feel. I don't know. Is it just me? I'd like to know, but I'm working on it. And I'm so thankful for every last one of you who spend your time here on this channel, watching the videos, watching the kitties. I see your comments where you'd like to come by and help. I wish that was possible. That's definitely not possible under current circumstances. But we'll get by, and we'll make it happen somehow. Appreciate y'all caring for the kitties and birds. And so appreciative of you sharing what you're doing to continue on with your lives, gardening, the animals you're raising, and what you're doing, all in your lives. It makes a difference just to read about what everyone else is doing and that. So y'all, it's getting a little chilly out here. Sun's starting to dip a little bit low, and day will soon come to an end. Now I got to get in there and get this video edited for you and get it out. Now I've been really striving hard to put out a video each day. I know many of y'all like to hear the old man ramble or see what we're up to that day, and I'm doing my little part that I can while we're all going through this crisis, and that's put out a video each day on something. That's all I can do for all of y'all right now, other than pray for you. And trust me, I do that. And then people, they have specific prayer requests, and I write every name down and make sure that's included as well. But as always, we need to be praying for all essential workers in every category and trade. Now, I'm not going to go through the whole list. We all know them by now, because they're all keeping us healthy, fed, and well supplied. And pray for those people who have to work that have no choice, because they just can't afford to go without. And pray for our community, for our nation, and the people of the planet. So y'all, until I see you on the next video, y'all take care. Stay safe out there, and I mean that. If you're going out, take every precaution humanly possible. Don't forget a thing. And may God bless each and every one of you, your families, and your loved ones. Till next we speak on the next video. Goodbye for now. Cleo, you cleaning up there? You cleaning up? You, my little girl. Where's those kitties at? When you gonna show me them kitties? I can't find them. You got the kitties hid up in the bamboo forest? Now, I know they've got to be close. They got to be getting big enough to come on out. Don't they got to be big enough to start heading out with you? Don't they? Magoo, you giving Cleo kisses? Is she your sister? You giving her brother sister kisses? You two. Petting one of you, rubbing one of you with my arm, the other one with my hand. Well, it's getting chilly out here, and I don't got a fur coat. I think we're going back down in the low 50s again tonight. Come on, Magoo. Oh! Old bones get a little bit sore as the temperature goes down. You two are youngins. You don't have to worry about that. Well, I'll bring you out a treat, okay? I got some party mix for kitties. Yep. A nice lady sent it to us, Naomi. Let me go in and get you some, okay? Y'all hang out here, right, Cleo? Magoo knows all about them. He was wanting them earlier. Okay, let me go in and get them for you. Okay, you guys, come here. Let's see. Y'all be good now. Share. There we go. Well, that's from Naomi, see? Yep. She sent those down to us. Ooh, are those good? Y'all loving them, ain't you? Now, I gotta give some to Trixie too, so y'all don't be hoggy. Looking for some more? Well, I think I can give you a few more. Come on. Here, Cleo. Okay. I can hear y'all crunching away now. Yep. Well, we'll have more tomorrow. You got some right underneath, Cleo. No, Magoo's gonna get them. Magoo gonna get them. See? They're right here. See? They're right underneath you, Cleo, the whole time. Okay. That's enough for today. We'll save some for tomorrow. And then I gotta also save some for Trixie and Elrod. Yep. Okay. Y'all wanna say goodbye? Magoo. Magoo. You wanna say goodbye? Nope. He found him another treat. What? Did you think I forgot you? You want some too, Trix? Okay. Let me open them up here. Now this is from Naomi. She watches you on YouTube. Yep, you're getting some too. There's you some. Boy, you enjoy them too, don't you? Just get up on the plate, Trix. There's some more right here, sweetie. See? They're Friskies, party mix. What do you think? They're yummy? Are they yummy? Trix. Trix. They're right here. Nope. That's all you get for today. Okay? You gonna say goodbye? No. All y'all want is treats. Tomorrow, okay? I bet I'm gonna hear about this the rest of the night. 'Cause she gets real verbal. Later, all. Tomorrow, Trick. No, tomorrow. Tomorrow. Not now. Tomorrow. That's what treats are for. Do you hear me?